Hi, Sami.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic.
So thank you for joining us here in the UK. And obviously, we get to watch Impact here, and it's a great product. And you're very much a big part of that. You created this kind of incredible buzz. So when you kind of went to the company, was that something that you had in mind, to bring a buzz? Because you've made it, talked about by a lot of people.
I plan to bring a buzz anywhere I go in wrestling, anywhere I'm signed, and any avenue I ever take in wrestling. I'm never complacent just being just something random. I think you saw that in NXT when I quit NXT and went somewhere else because I'm not a complacent person. I'm not complacent just getting a paycheck. I always want something bigger. I always want something better. I'm a very goal-oriented person. And me coming to Impact Wrestling, I wanted to be one of the guys that put this company on the back and led it out of the dark ages and made it what it is today. And I think I've done just that.
I mean, you definitely have. You brought that, that excitement. And what's really nice, having watched you previously before, is you look so content, and it's almost like you've been given this blank canvas to really go out and demonstrate, who is Sami Callihan and what you can do. So do you feel Impact's given you a chance to really showcase, what you can do?
100%. I think Impact Wrestling is the first national company to fully take the handcuffs off Sami Callihan and let him be who he is. Because who he is compelling television. Who Sami Callihan is a guy that brings buzz, makes people watch. I am must-see television. And like I said before, I think I've proven that over the last 2 years.
I mean, where did your passion for wrestling actually come from? Was it something you loved growing up as a kid?
My earliest memory is professional wrestling. From my parents and my brothers watching wrestling, and then growing out of it, I never grew out of it. My earliest memory was always, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it was always professional wrestling.
And then where did your kind of break come from? Because obviously to wanting to be a wrestler, there's such a long process, in regards to the training and then actually finding that break. So where would you say your break came from for you?
I got extremely lucky. Timing and luck is half the battle. And I got really lucky at a young age. I busted my ass. I felt like I was working harder than everyone. I was on the road for little to no money, driving 8, 10, 12 hours just to get on a show for 5 minutes. And it all started in 2008. In a span of a week, because of good luck, I randomly got booked in Chicago Lions Cup. I got booked on CZW at the ECW Arena. And then the next week I was Dark's Match for Ring of Honor. And everything just kind of blew up from there. And
you also have your own wrestling promotion, is that right?
100%. The Wrestling Revolver, wrestling for our generation, by our generation. And it's a company where I give a lot of freedom to the talent that I book. I let them have that blank canvas like I've had over the last couple of years to go out and truly experiment and try things that they want to try. I'm not a promoter that's like, you got to do this, or this is how we want it. No, like Wrestling Revolver is a blank canvas, and that's why we've been so successful. And that's why we've kind of blown up. Cheap plugs, and check us out on all social media platforms. Revolver, as well as you watch all of our shows from the last 3 to 4 years on the High Spot Wrestling Network.
And of course, one of your biggest moments in Impact is, of course, your time and your rivalry with Tessa Blanchard, which was just incredible because it was something fresh, it felt right. So what are your kind of experiences when they came to you and said, look, this is the idea, we're going to run with it? What were your initial thoughts?
I was absolutely for it because I'm a guy, you know, my company's a Wrestling Revolver. I don't book normal women's wrestling matches. I'm very big proponent of intergender wrestling, and I actually kind of hate that term to this point. I think it should just be called professional wrestling. Because whether it's guy versus guy, whether it's girl versus girl, or whether it's guy versus girl, it's all just professional wrestling at this point. And I think Impact Wrestling is the first company to really jump on that. I've just seen the growth of it on the independents, and I think that's why it's blown up the way it has. And it was a storyline feud that actually got pushed to a couple other people that other people turned down. And I wanted, without a doubt, to take that feud because I was like, I want to show that this can work and shove it down other people's throats that didn't think it was good enough for them or didn't think that it was capable of being done.
And again,
a challenge.
It became one of the most talked about kind of pieces in Impact. And I think another kind of thing, it's put Impact on the map. It made people, talk about this promotion because there was a time when it was kind of, it was going downhill and it's just come right back up again. And for us watching in the UK, it's a really enjoyable product. And I've got to talk about, you and Ken Shamrock at the moment.
We questionably have the best week after week television show that I think more people need to give credit to. I think people have been doing that over the last year. Impact Wrestling, people said they wanted the Attitude Era back. I think Impact's the first company to not be afraid to offend people, not be afraid to make people mad, and actually do more adult-oriented storylines for the type of fans that want that.
And I wanted to talk about Ken Shamrock and kind of your rivalry with Ken. What made you want to actually go after him? Because, he's deemed the world's most dangerous man. Did you kind of ever worry about the rivalry of him? Did you ever think you've taken on a little bit too much?
No, if anything, that's what makes me the maddest about this storyline here. I'm all for working for your spot. I'm going to be damned if Ken Shamrock came into Impact Wrestling. It didn't go through me. That term, world's most dangerous man, that was 20, 25 years ago. I think over the last 3, 4, 5 years of professional wrestling, I think I've taken that term and blown it up to the next echelon. And I am the world's most dangerous man now in professional wrestling. And Ken Shamrock, if you were told 14-year-old Sami Callihan he was going to be feuding Ken Shamrock, he'd freak out. So I'm not 14-year-old Sami Callihan anymore. I'm a grown-ass man that draws Sami Callihan. And this is just another notch in my resume and notch in my career that I took it to Ken Shamrock. And I did exactly what I do with everyone else.
And I mean, what I personally love as a fan of wrestling is that shock factor when you don't expect something, and you give us that week in and week out on Impact. And a prime example of that was attacking your friends that actually came to help you against Ken Shamrock, and you shocked everyone by actually attacking them. So it's fair to say you're unpredictable.
I'm unpredictable, but I'm a lot more thought out than people actually realize. I think I'm just a spontaneous monster. But at the end of the day, there's a lot going up on my head that no one really can see. Everything is planned methodically for the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is going to come to fruition sooner than later.
And have you had some kind of good experiences wrestling in the UK?
Absolutely. I think my time in the UK when I was younger and my time in Germany really made me the wrestler I am today. At one point, before I went to WWE, and right when I left WWE, went back to the Indies, I was going to England every 2-3 weeks. A lot of people over there I consider family. The Fight Club Pro guys in England are some of my best friends on the planet. And to see them succeeding now and seeing that company go from a company that was almost a backyard wrestling federation to being one of the top wrestling promotions in England is absolutely amazing. And I was one of the first Americans there bringing it over for a regular basis. That's one of my second homes in it a little bit.
That's amazing. And one thing I did want to actually speak to you about was growing up and being a wrestling fan. Who kind of influenced you? Or was there anybody that you actually looked up to in regards to wrestling?
Undertaker will always be my number one, my favorite wrestler of all time, one of my biggest inspirations. Outside of that, as a youngster, growing up in my adolescent years, if anyone says Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't my favorite wrestler, they'd be lying. I was never a Rock guy. I was never a Shawn Michaels guy. I was never a Bret Hart guy. Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Terry Funk, Mick Foley, that's my Mount Rushmore pro wrestling.
I mean, when you talk about The Undertaker, he has that kind of unpredictable and that kind of mysteriousness about him like you do as well. So that's kind of what makes...
Yeah. Always evolved. That's the thing. Undertaker was better than questionably everybody else other than possibly Chris Jericho. And always reinventing himself and making him relevant year after year after year instead of just being complacent doing the same thing for 10 years.
And at the moment, out of all the free agents that are out there, who would you love to kind of wrestle in Impact? So is there somebody that you look at kind of at the moment and think, I'd really love to have a rivalry or a match with them?
Eric Young. I think Eric Young embodies what Impact Wrestling is, and I think he got a rough hand, and I think me and Eric Young could draw some money for Impact Wrestling. I think it's a matchup that people want to see.
Well, Sami, honestly, it's great talking to you. And, for me, I'm a fan. And in the UK, more and more people are realising that Impact is back. And it's kind of better than ever as well. It's become something excitable. And, you don't want to miss it each week. And that's
I think that's why Impact has one of the best weekly episodic wrestling television shows there is right now.
And obviously, Impact, you're there every week at the moment and working hard. And obviously, what's going on in the world at the moment has put a lot of things on hold. So after this is finished, is there going to be anything else that you're going to be working on that you can tell us about? Because obviously, you're quite busy with your own promotion as well and Impact.
not just my own promotion, not just Impact. I'm a content creator. I'm working on some movie stuff I've been doing, as well as I'm actually launching my official Twitch channel tonight at 8 p.m. For anyone that's listening to that, that's April 30th, and I'll be streaming video game streams. I'll be streaming Q&As, original content, wrestling matches from my promotion, and really just getting a feel for what I am as a content creator as well. I will be launching a joint venture with one of my close friends on YouTube called Gimmick Soup, which will be another form of content creation with mini movies, skits, and everything else you can ever think of.
Well, Sami, thank you so much for giving us your time today. I really appreciate it. And please keep doing what you're doing, because it's so thrilling and entertaining to watch, and I can't wait to see what's next for you.
No problem, man. Thanks for the interview. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take